Okay, so when it comes to Spiral, the deck likes to, set up really big fields, create like insane locks with Firewall Dragon, Trigate Wizard, Sleeper, and Utility Wire Trap. So really just lock your opponent out of the game and win in the first turn. Um, the deck's weaknesses are really hand traps, and recently since new ban list came in, removing Quick Fix and Drone, bringing them down to 1, consistency has been affected a lot. So yeah, the main weakness is just hand traps, Ash Blossom, Cherries especially. That's just devastating. Gamma, pretty much every hand trap is just devastating in the matchup. Um, the matchups really, like, Spiral can beat every deck, like if it goes first and does what it's supposed to do. And going second is really powerful because of Spiral Resort. Like, every card pretty much in this game targets, and being able to shut it off for the whole for the whole turn or the whole game is really, really powerful. Like the Pendulum Magician Trap targets, ABC Buster Dragon targets, like all the best, all the best like monster traps they target. So yeah.
So the Spiral deck is very good because right now it's like the most powerful deck, and the fields it produces are pretty insane. The deck is very consistent, and like the game plan is just either going first or second. You have pretty good cards like supporting each role. For example, now we have Spiral Tough, which sees a lot of play. It didn't before in London, but now people are going second with Toughs because they can trigger it. It clears a card. It's like more drones. Otherwise, going first, we still have like the Quick Fix Double Summon or Furious Burial Goods combo, which ends in like Trigate, Firewall, Wire, and Sleeper. And you can't beat these fields consistently. It's like we see everyone adapting by playing hand traps, but the deck is still, it's very consistent. It has a lot of power cards, and we see cards that never happened before. Like Spiral Double Helix is the best Link monster we have so far. It's like the card is pretty broken, I would say even. But other cards too. It's like Quick Fix isn't one per turn, and the deck just fluently works together. Also with past cards, like we have seen the resurgence of Double Summon, which we haven't seen in a long time. Matchup-wise, the deck is pretty well versed in the entire field, because like every deck, as we see, has to adapt to play against Spiral. So we see the engine clearly has an advantage over others, because you have to play something to even get to play the game against Spiral. Its worst matchup, I would say, is like at the moment it should be Trickster, because the deck can adapt very well. It kind of reminds me myself of Zodiac a bit. Of course, not on the same power level, but the deck can play a lot of hand traps, and Spiral is kind of weak to hand traps, but like you can still continue playing. So like the game plan of the deck is, of course, like it's very good, and it's just a good contender in the field because, as we see in the results, it's just it did the most tops, and like the deck just does what it wants to do all the time.
So the Spiral deck, I think, is an interesting place right now because it almost falls into two different decks, where there's one Spiral deck that plays combo cards and aims to go first, and it builds an almost impenetrable board with the Trigate Wizard, Firewall Dragon, and then the Sleeper as removal. But it's quite susceptible to hand traps and other interaction. And if it loses the die roll and it's forced to go second, it can struggle against a resolved board. But then some people, as we saw in YCS San Diego last week, were playing a deck that was built, designed to choose to go second. Now they were remaining evenly matched and Spiral Tough. It was less explosive if they were comboing off, and it didn't end with such a powerful board. But on the contrary, it was able to play through an already established first turn using those two cards, and it meant that if they were losing the die roll and the other person was choosing to go first, they were still in a position that they wanted to be in. I think Spiral is going to have a great time against most decks this weekend. I think it's the hottest contender. But at the same time, a lot of the turns will just be stopped by a hand trap, and then if they get shut down, they can end with a board that has nothing going for it.